Okay, so on my YouTube channel, I try to take videos of various processes that needs to be done on doing these Monte Carlos. This also apply to 68 to 72 Chevelle. Pretty much any A-body car. You can watch this. This will help. This is the AMD cowl panel. This piece was about 150, 60 bucks, something like that. It comes all the way down under the back seat and has the seat hangers. Okay, as with any aftermarket stuff, you don't know if this is in the right spot or not. So what I've done is I've cut this panel out and I've left some of the old piece on here. And I've also going to leave the factory seatbelt hangers, the seat hangers. And I'm just going to cut them off the new panel, and I'm going to lay this panel in over it. I'm going to use this piece left here from the old panel to my advantage to weld the new one in. So I've got this piece all cut out, but one thing I noticed that I actually didn't realize, there's actually 3 separate pieces back here on the package tray. And this is actually the package tray, not this. This piece is actually the rear deck filler, not the package tray. This is the package tray. And the speaker tray, some may call it a speaker shelf or whatever. That's pretty much what it is. As you can see, someone had hacked this one all to pieces. It's got a lot of rust. The rats had got in here and done a number on this, and that's in real bad shape. So I just said, heck with it, I'm gonna cut the whole thing out and replace it. Okay, so at one time I would have thought you would have had a structural issue cutting this out. This package tray offers no structural support really whatsoever. As you can see, everything's still strong, nothing's moving. So I'm going to take this piece out and then I'm going to explain a little bit what to do as far as where to cut it. Okay, that's out of the way. So, of course, with that out of the way, you can see here's your trunk tension rods, how all that stuff works. But this stuff here pretty much gets its strength from being welded here. So, I mean, don't just sit here and lay on this thing. You don't want to tweak this, but the main thing, with the tension rods and all in place, that pretty much holds that where it's supposed to be. Okay. This was an overall solid car. Hell dings or whatnot. But this package tray was really bad, so what you got to be careful of on both sides is this piece here and that over there is not included with this. No, these are separate pieces, and I'm probably gonna have to buy that one over there because it's bad, but this one here, a little bit here, I may end up buying both, but this piece goes and spot welds in under the car. Can't really see it, but under there. So without getting fancy, you can just cut it and then clean the area up and weld it back in. But as you can see, that's where that goes. This one over here is a little more, a little worse. This hole here is only supposed to be about the size of a nickel, and it's huge. So that's where I think the rats got up in here too. But this is a common rust area on these A-bodies. With that being said, don't just grab the saw and start cutting, because now if you've got all this is shot, then just cut it all out. But just know you're not going to get these pieces with the reproduction package tray, speaker shelf. You're going to have to buy these 2 pieces here separately. There's a left and there's a right and they're different. They're side specific. It's also included, this is part of that piece. So I've got a decision to make whether I want to cut this out and try to make a piece or just buy the piece. I'm probably going to order these pieces. Go from there, but most of the time, I mean, well, I say no, actually not most of the time. A lot of the time, those areas is what's bad on the speaker shelf. It's not in here, it's actually in the corners. So anyway, hopefully in this video you can kind of see where to cut this thing out. And I always leave a little bit extra here because this don't go over very far. And I'm gonna set this thing down in here and figure out exactly where to trim. So anyway, this will be video number 1 on the speaker shelf replacement. Some might do this a more fancier way. Some may take all the time to drill out all those spot welds. I just don't see the point. When you have metal that's in good shape, there's nothing wrong with leaving a piece to use for reinforcement. When this piece is welded back in, this will actually be stronger than the factory because there'll be more here to support it. Also, keep in mind, like I said, I wouldn't get too fancy with the seatbelt hangers. If you can leave them in place, leave them and just trim them off the new part. That way you know your seat hangers are in the correct location. Again, if somebody walks in and sees this, they're going to see a huge hole, gaping hole in the trunk area, which would be very scary to some that's not had a car down this far. And actually, this is my first speaker shelf replacement on a car like this. I've done the cowl panel in the front, but I've never done the rear speaker shelf. So this is kind of new to me too. But anyway, I just want to do a video to show basically, don't just grab the saw and start cutting. These are separate pieces. Those are not cheap either. They don't give those away. Those are two of those is half the cost of the whole package tray. So that's just the way it goes. But anyway, like, share, comment. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them for you. I don't live on YouTube, so just bear with me. I'll get back with you as soon as I can. I've had a lot of people ask about doing this for people. Well, I am in South Carolina. Keep that in mind. It's very hard to find anyone usually to do this kind of stuff. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this clears some things up if you have some questions about how to put this in. It spot welds in back right here. Again, there's a little piece I left and cut it right here. Okay,